welcome back to my channel. What is this? What is this? Hey you guys, hey you guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, so I finally decided it's time. We are going to be talking about products that I have changed my mind about. If you guys want to see what I have changed my mind about, whether positive or negative, just keep watching. First product is going to sadly be a negative. Now, nothing against these brands. I'm going to put that disclaimer out there because I know somebody's going to get offended. I don't dislike any of the brands I'm going to talk about. In fact, I have some products from every single one of them that I truly love. So if I talk about them negatively, just remember it's not the brand, it's the product. And also, if you love that product, kudos to you. I'm really, truly happy that you love that product. But for me, for whatever reason, which I will explain, it just didn't work for me. But that doesn't mean it's a bad product, and it definitely doesn't mean that it won't work for you. It just doesn't work for my current needs. So the first product I have to mention is the Urban Decay Vice lipstick palette, and this is the Beauty with an Edge palette. Now, when I first purchased this, I was really excited because I love the Urban Decay lipstick formulas, and I liked the idea of the fact that you have all of these beautiful shades all in one palette. And as you can tell, it was loved very much for a very short time. And between that time and now, I discovered that I find that having to use a lip brush and apply lipstick with a lip brush not only is inconvenient, but also that I don't really like the formula because they're so soft. In order to be spread with a lip brush and have them in a pot or a pan, they have to be a softer formula. So while I do love the Urban Decay lipstick formulas, it changes when you put them into a pan style palette like this. The next product is a positive change. Mind the packaging, it looks pretty janky. This is the Calvin Klein, I think it's Deep Euphoria perfume. This was gifted to me by a friend and it was almost full. When she first gave it to me, I absolutely hated the scent of it. I wore it maybe once in 6 months. And I felt it was just too mature, too sweet, too deep. And at that point in my life, I was more into very light scents. So this to me was a complete enigma. So I left it in my bathroom under my sink for close to 2 years. And then I went to clean out under my cabinets and I found it again and smelled it. And all of a sudden, I loved it. I wore it so much, in fact, that it went from being almost completely full to being well over half empty. I love this perfume now and I wear it often. It's one of my favorite fall scents and it's great. This next product is also a fragrance and it's by Bath & Body Works. Now, keep in mind, I have over 30 Bath & Body Works lotions, body sprays. In fact, you can see many of them on this shelf right there. Now, this one, however, I used to really love. In fact, I loved the body cream of this so much that I wore it every day for weeks. So this is the scent Snowflakes and Cashmere. I don't know the notes offhand at the moment. It's a sweet scent, but it has a very strange afternote. So I really liked it when I first got it, and like I said, I wore it all the time, but something about it now just kind of makes me feel sick. When I smell it now, I almost get that weird gaggy feeling in the back of my throat. I know that sounds so extreme and so dramatic, but it's completely true. It is something that I am just not willing to hold on to even try to like anymore, because when you have a reaction to something that is that extreme, I don't even want to see the packaging because the thought of it literally makes my throat close. It's the weirdest situation. This next product I really liked until I realized that it just wasn't working for me. This is the Duo Lash Glue, and this is the brush on with vitamins, so it's in the green packaging. I've obviously used a lot of this. It's literally up to about here now. I wear lashes very often. Go figure, the one time I talk about this, like, I'm not wearing any lashes whatsoever. But I really used to like this, and I think it was because I had not tried other lash glues, because I would notice after a certain length of time, very often the inner corners of my lashes would pop up, or the outer corners would just break free throughout the day. And I thought it was just because that's how it was. Either it was the lash problem or it was my application. So I am now on the hunt for a new lash glue because I am so sick and tired of my lashes popping up on the inner corners. I don't, again, know if it's just my skin, whether other people have had this problem. If you guys have ever used the Duo in the green, let me know down below if you guys have a problem with it popping up in the corners or if it's literally just me and poor application skills. Also, if you guys do have a really good lash glue that works for you, let me know in the comments below so I can try that out. This next product I used to absolutely hate, and now it is one of my holy grail products. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. I used to be very oily skinned, and back then I used to hate it, especially in the summertime, because it would make me look so oily within a very short amount of time. Now that I am incredibly dry, this is one of my favorite drugstore primers of all time. It fills in my pores, it blurs out any imperfections on my skin, my makeup actually lays on it very nicely, it doesn't slip and slide, and it gives me a not dewy but not super matte finish when I do use my matte foundations. This product I used to absolutely love, and now I can't anymore. The funny thing is, the exact reason why I can't use this product anymore is the same exact reason I can't use the Bath & Body Works. This is by L'Oreal, and this is one of their lipsticks with the celebrity exclusives. This is JLo's Nude, or Jennifer's Nude, and it's gorgeous. I have nothing against the color. It is a beautiful beigey pinky nude, and the formula is actually really, really good. It's very creamy, very comfortable to wear, but the scent. If you guys have ever smelled the L'Oreal lipsticks and you are on the same boat as I am about that sickly baby doll scent, it literally smells like the head of a plastic baby doll. That weird after scent of this where it almost makes you go, ugh. That's the scent that's in the Bath & Body Works. It goes from being pleasant or bearable to sour like that, and I can't have this on my lips because the scent lingers on my lips when I wear this. This is the Be Bella eye cream. When I first got this, I started to use it, and like an eye cream, I used it under my eyes and it did nothing. Well, I tried it again in desperation about a month and a half ago. My eyelids, so up in here, were so dry that when I put eyeshadow and transition shades into my crease, it looked crepey and gross and flaky and dry. Let me tell you how much and how fast this changed my eyelids. I wear this every night now, and my eyelids are so smooth, so hydrated, but I don't wear it under my eyes, which is kind of what eye creams are for. But I will say, Be Bella, you have been converted. And for another negative, this product I used religiously for about 2 or 3 months. This is by Real Techniques. I know you're all gonna come for me in the comments because it is such a cult favorite and I want to love it so much. I want to love it. I purchased this before I actually purchased the original Real Beauty Blender. At first, I really, really loved it. I thought it was the best sponge in the world. I loved the shape of it. It was super pointed to get under the eyes. Everything was fantastic. And then I got the original Beauty Blender and I realized this sponge for me, it's just too stiff. Now, I do love the shape of it. I really do, but it's the stiffness of the sponge that I just can't get on board with. So sadly, as much as I want to love this, and I've given it a good go. It's definitely seen its days. I have other sponges that I absolutely adore now, which I have mentioned actually in my 2017 favorites, which I will link right there. So go check that out if you want to see what sponges I have been adoring. Anyway, this is going in the garbage because it's just time. Let's talk about another positive because I feel like this needs to be mentioned. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Metal 24-hour eyeshadow in the shade Inked in Pink. I hated this. From the moment I purchased it, when I first got this, the way it was pressed in the pan, it was so stiff. You had to really dig your brush into it or your finger into it, and it never really was pigmented. It just never worked. Well, I decided before I decluttered it that I would try something new. I used a product very similar to Inglott's Duraline, which is like a rehydrating product for your cream products. I used product too many times in that sentence. This is becoming a trend where I overuse words. So what I did was I actually mixed this up completely. I broke it off of the pan. So what I did was I actually took and mixed the product up. I completely changed the texture of it. I took it away from being really hard pressed and swirled it around, and I added that Duraline equivalent product to it to make it a little bit more smooth. Now, oh my gosh, you guys, I love this. I'm telling you, if you have these and you dislike them for the same reason I do, even if you don't use another product to make it more creamy, but if you just stir it up with like the end of a brush or a toothpick or something and change the press, it's amazing as an eyeshadow base. It's amazing as an eyeshadow. I'm actually wearing this today and I wear this very, very often. It is one of my favorite light color eye bases of all time now. And time for another negative. And I hate this because this is once again one of those cult classics. This was on YouTube all over the place last year. I feel like everybody was mentioning it, and this, it just doesn't work for me anymore. This is the NYX HD blush in the shade Taupe. One of the best contour colors in existence as far as a powder goes from the drugstore. But I've noticed over the course of me discovering new products, other shades, this on my skin tone is very, very gray. I look like I belong in The Walking Dead. So as much as I really wish I could love this for a contour shade, I just don't. Now for a positive, and this is one of my favorite discoveries of last year. I had purchased a set of the Lorac Pro liquid lipsticks, and I loved a lot of the shades in there, but upon swatching this on my hand, I felt like this would be so concealer lips that I couldn't deal with it. I've never been into the look of wiping out your lip color completely. By the way, this is in the shade Soft Pink, and I'm talking about this shade specifically. It was just too light for me. Now I know looking at it on camera right now, it doesn't appear like it would be that way, but when I purchased this, I wasn't okay with a nude this light yet. I almost decluttered it. I pulled it out one last time and did a lip swatch, and it has become one of my favorite nudes to wear. I absolutely love this beigey pinky nude. It is such an underrated product. I don't hear a lot of people talking about the Lorac Pro liquid lipsticks, and I don't know why. They have great staying power. They are comfortable. They're not super drying, but they do dry down very matte. They're a very liquidy formula, so you don't have that gunky, chunky feeling on your lips. You don't get that gross rim. In general, this shade, I don't know why I thought it wouldn't work for me, because it clearly is gorgeous. And now for a lip product that did a 180 degree that I absolutely can't stand. This is by Too Faced, and this is the Too Faced Melted Latex High Shine Lipstick. I tried this from the Sephora Favorites Give Me More Lip Kit that came out holiday of this year, and at first I really liked it, but I only had worn it in short spurts. I didn't wear it all day long. When I finally wore this, I looked like I had eaten a popsicle in the messiest possible way. It had literally migrated out of my lip line, all over my lips. I had a lip liner on and everything, and it still managed to find its way onto the skin around my lips. I cannot wear it. I just can't. I love Too Faced's matte liquid lipsticks, but not the latex. This one is a positive turnaround. This is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky. It is definitely made for smoky eyes. You have your transition shades over here. You have a few crease shades, and then a bunch of shimmery shadows. Now, I was never inspired by this. I got it and it literally sat on my palette shelf for months. Now, recently I have gotten into cool toned eye looks. I'm actually leaning more toward cool tones now than I do warm, which is blasphemy if you guys have known me for a while. And I reached for this to do a cool toned eye look and fell in love with these like grayish blue slate shades. And now I love using this palette. I use it all the time. I still lean more toward the mattes in this palette than the shimmers, but I feel like I really underestimated this product and what it can do for a look. You don't just need to do a smoky eye with this palette. You can create other looks with it. I felt like it was just destined to be smoky eye palette, but that's definitely not the case. So I am really glad that I gave it another shot, and I will continue using this because I absolutely love it now. This next palette I'm going to talk about is already a very controversial palette. I purchased the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette last year. This palette, and you'll see, it's definitely been well loved. I absolutely loved this palette when I got it. But ever since then, it was like overnight, it went on the wayside. It got stuck on the back burner. I discovered new palettes, and I haven't reached for this in a very long time. Now, that being said, there are pros and cons to this. I'm not going to get rid of this palette. It's kind of okay. It's very, so you can see how it's almost like, those aren't my finger wrinkles. Those are the actual product. So this gold is a pretty gold, but again, if you look at it, you can see how flaky the shadow is. But then there's others in here that are absolutely gorgeous, like that garnet shade. It is incredibly smooth, incredibly pigmented, and beautiful. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. It's very hit or miss for me. I don't look at this and see cohesive looks throughout the palette. It's almost too random for me. So although I do love these few shades in here, as far as the rest of them goes, I don't think I would ever repurchase this palette. So sadly, this is a palette that I do regret purchasing. This next palette I got last year and hated it. Hated it. Only recently did I reach back into this palette and give it one more try. This is the Unique Sculpting Trio Cream and Powder Contour Palette. Wow. This trio has a cream contour, a powder highlight, and a cream highlight. So you can clearly see what I like and what I don't. So this first shade, I love this cream contour. I literally wear it almost every single day. I'm wearing it today as my contour. It's a wonderful formula. It is just the perfect shade for my skin, and it, like I said, it blends out incredibly. This middle shade here, it has a sheen. So it is not matte, but it's not glittery. There's no glitter in it. It just has a beautiful sheen to it, and it's gonna be really hard to see, but you can kind of see how my knuckle in the area is glowing. I use this to set under my eyes or just to put over top of what I set my under eyes with, and it just brings a lot of light to the under eyes, and it never looks cakey. This, however, this cream highlighter, I do not like. You can see how chunky and gross that is. On the skin, it grabs and builds. This is actually in a project pan right now, and once I get through the two shades that I do like in this palette, I am going to just toss it in the trash because that cream highlighter is just gross. This is the NYX Wonder Pencil. I first purchased it thinking that I could use it as a flesh-toned eyeliner on the bottom lash line. This has more of a stiff formula, so when I would try to put it under my eyes, it was kind of hard to build up. It's right there. It was really hard to build up, and I felt like I was just kind of digging and digging, and it didn't last. So again, I almost decluttered this. So I thought, on a whim, let's try that Wonder Pencil and see if I can just ever so slightly get very close to my brow. It completely changed my mind about this product. This is perfect for carving out your brows. It's very easy to control. It's a stiffer formula, so you can't slip and make an easy mistake. It's wonderful. So I am really excited to have found out that I could use this like that, because now it is a permanent staple in my collection. And you guys, that is it for my products that changed my mind. Let me know below if you guys have any products that you have completely converted either to the negative or the positive. Also, if you guys are new to my channel, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave so that you can be part of our little YouTube family here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. If you liked this video or learned something or discovered a product that you now want to try, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.